Okay, this is a proposal for a system that we can use to do our schedule so that we're all on the same page, so that we can make trades if necessary very easily, and so things don't get confusing. Um, we can just send things in email, which I think is the most, it's very verifiable. You can just look at the last email and see all the dates. This shows 3 months worth. It's not an actual schedule I'm proposing, but it shows a whole bunch of exchanges, and the exchanges range from, most of them are via school. That means that on Wednesday, October 9th, mom picks up Stella from school and has her until the next exchange, which is Friday, when I pick her up at school. And obviously, mom would be dropping her off at school on Thursday morning, pick her up Thursday afternoon, etc. But that's not listed. All that's listed is when uh, there's an exchange, and that happens through school. Um, some of these, though, are, for instance, here's one Sunday, where she comes to me at 4 p.m. And what this implies is that I am picking her up from mom's, because it doesn't say otherwise. The receiver would be the one driving. Um, but here's an example where the receiver is not driving and it just says via dad. So that means that I am driving to, I am taking Stella to mom's and dropping her off at 7 p.m. So if you're dropping off, it says via. Um, but if you're picking up, you don't have to say additionally. So that's all it is. Very, very concise, and it'd be very easy to make requests where you can just say which ones change. But the problem, although this is pretty easy to look at, hopefully you can just scan it and see. What's really handy is what I worked on this weekend, which was building a graphical calendar, which you can just paste these into. It doesn't save it on the server, although it saves it. If you refresh the page, it'll still be there, but it's just saving it on your browser like a cookie. And here it is. This is the schedule I just showed you. I mentioned these. So green is dad, blue is mom, and red is school. This shows school on every single Monday through Friday. There may be holidays that I didn't bother accounting for, but I will find out what all the school holidays and such are, what the schedule is, and only have show it school on the days that it actually is there. And I'm showing them as if they go from 8 to 4 p.m., but I don't specify, the times aren't specified. It's just you pick her up when school's out, and you drop her off at the beginning of school, and that's between the parent and the school. Not it doesn't concern the parents having to cooperate with one another. But of course, on the ones where you're dropping off or picking up at a house, you have to know the exact time. And here's just a few examples of that. So that's how the system works. But as far as actually proposing a system, I wanted to just explore ways that we can try different things. So here's just a little thing I was playing with to generate some examples. Here's one with this is the 2255 plan, exactly as described by Judge Masulo. The Get a little bit more on screen. And this just goes from August to January. Again, it starts actually before school starts, so don't worry about that detail. I will fix that. But you can see that I have her every Monday and Tuesday. Mom has her every Wednesday and Thursday, and then the weekends alternate. And of course, it just shows the school in there because that's kind of important. Even if she's not going back and forth between parents, it does make it easier to visualize the whole thing that's going on here because school is important. So Eve didn't like this because it has her with me every Monday, and Mondays are more common to have holidays. So let's try a different variation where it alternates. And this is just a a new one. I'll paste this in. It's just really easy to paste these things in.
It's 1 o'clock.
And so now you'll see that while I have her on Monday and Tuesday, in this month, she's with mom on Monday and Tuesday. And it's actually, it just swaps out every 5 weeks, I believe it is. It's not exactly month by month, but it will, so, that makes it, that alternates, but it still keeps it fairly consistent for most of the time. It just is 4 twos in a row, approximately once a month. And so that helps with that problem. But the bigger problem, I think the biggest problem, is that we have a disagreement regarding both of us want to be close to her school, because whoever's not close is going to be burdened with a lot more driving and a lot more hassle. And that's not fair, and it doesn't have to be that way. So what about this system where we compensate? This is one where you can imagine if Stella did go to school in Burlingame, we just have, basically I have it set up here where she is picked up by mom every day at school. And on the days where I'm supposed to have her that evening, mom just drives her up to San Francisco and drops her off and it can give her a little bit of time to spend. They can probably spend some time in a playground or what have you. Maybe even go home for a little bit, depending on how early she gets out of school. Of course, I would drop her off in Burlingame in the morning. So it works out, and we can adjust this. We can figure out what the right balance is, but the nice thing to remember is this is not in any way less efficient. Like, it's not requiring extra driving. It's just changing the balance of driving. And maybe I don't know if it's frustrating to pick her up and then drop her off where you don't actually get to spend a whole lot of time with her, but it's also kind of nice that you get to see her every day. So whether she's going to school in Burlingame or San Francisco, we can compensate for the driving so it's not just a big burden, and then we can go from there. I'd still like her in San Francisco, but I'm open to working out something that is equitable and fair, and I am open to Burlingame as long as it's not just going to put all the burden on me. So that's it.